government official and you got the business contract. Okay? And all of that corruption and nepotism are forms of favoritism. Does that make sense? Favoritism. Okay? Or what in Egyptian Arabic they would say kusa, right? Does that make sense? All right, now a nepo baby. If you're watching the news today, especially about news from Indonesia, Nepal, and the Philippines, it's happening in these different countries at the same time. You will hear people really angry and they're talking about Nepo babies. That's right. So, Nepo baby means a nepotism baby. It is a nepotism baby. So that means you are rich only because of your parents, not because of your hard work, but because of your parents. So let's do this. Let me put it like this. These are from the notes. This is what we mean by a Nepo baby. Okay? A nepotism baby. So imagine that your father is a big Hollywood star. Let's say your name is Jaden Smith and your daddy is Will Smith, right? And you get this movie. You get a big role in a movie. Okay? So we could say Jaden and Willow Smith got a role in a big Hollywood movie, and an actor who got their first big movie role mainly because their parent is a famous actor or director. That would mean that kid is a Nepo baby. Okay? So nepotism, all right, is your family connections. All right. So nepotism, Nepo baby. And if you want to know more about corruption, I would suggest you read the book called Animal Farm. So I'm going to put the name of the book here. It's called Animal Farm. So this is uh, English from the news. This is what's happening in the world today, right now, 2025. People are talking about corruption. People are talking about favoritism, and people are rioting about corruption. Okay, it's in the news today. Okay, and so if you're in another voice room, you might want to ask someone from a different country, is there a lot of corruption in your country? Is there a lot of nepotism in your country or favoritism? Does that make sense? All right, now I'm going to ask my students this. What is the opposite? What is the opposite of favoritism? What is the opposite? You get the job just because you look a certain way. That's favoritism. Just because of your family. Okay? The opposite is not justice. Justice is in the middle. The opposite of favoritism, is discrimination. Discrimination. That is the opposite of nepotism. So you don't get the job because of your family, because of the way you look, because of your religion, because of your race or your nationality. Maybe you're an immigrant and they say, no immigrants. We're not going to give you this job. We're not going to give you this opportunity because of the way you look. That is discrimination. Discrimination. That is the opposite of favoritism. So favoritism is giving someone special treatment based on personal connections, family, nationality, or money. Maybe they bribed you. But discrimination is treating people unfairly because of their maybe their race, their gender, religion, nationality, etc. So that's what we mean by discrimination. Does that make sense? Discrimination Discrimination is negative. When we're talking about treatment of people, okay? So there are other definitions of um, discrimination, but right now, what is discrimination based on your skin color? What if I discriminate against people because they're white? Let's say I'm not going to allow any white people on my stage, only brown and yellow people, no white folks, no snow bunnies on my stage. That's right, we call it racism. And another name for racism is apartheid. Now, apartheid is a word that came from South Africa, right? Okay. What if I discriminate against boomers and I say no boomers on my stage? If you are over 37 years old, if you're over 36 years old, anybody older than 36 cannot be on my stage. What do we call that? If let's just keep it simple. Anybody over 35 cannot be on my stage. We would call that ageism. Okay. Now, what if I say only women on my stage? No, 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 no. Only gorgeous, only gorgeous women on my stage. Okay. That's going to be sexism. Okay. Gorgeousism. I love it. Okay. I love that. Gorgeousism. Hey, I'm going to send you a gift, man. That is so good. Thank you. I love it. I'm going to take a screenshot too. That is so cool. Gorgeousism. Wow, that is so cool. Yes. So sexism, racism, ageism, okay? All of this is bias. Bias. You are biased. So in Japanese, that's sabetsu. Sabetsu, the show. Now, I don't know about Chinese, but I think it's chabie, chabie, wobujudao. Danshir wojueda, chabie, kanang, wobujudao. Now, bias, sabetsu, when you have a preference for someone, right, based on something like that, so that is almost like the opposite of discrimination. So if you have a preference for women, you have a bias for women. Or if you are against women, you have a bias against women. Now, sometimes we look at people and we judge them. So if I see a Chinese and I say, I have a math problem, and I just see a red, look, let's say I'm studying, um, let's say calculus, and I'm at a cafe, and I don't understand this math problem, this calculus problem, and I look around the room and I see, let's say, Korean. Somebody looks Korean, and I go up to the person and say, "Hey, help me out with this problem." They say, "Why you come talk to me?" I say, "You Asian." And I know all you Asians are good at math. That's right. All Asians are good at math. That is what we call prejudice. I am judging somebody based on how they look. And Asian people don't like it. Do you know how I know? Do you know how I know they don't like it? Because I've said it 1,000 times. And every time they got angry, I said, I'm going to talk to 1,000 people and see if they all, yeah, every out of 1,000 people, 1,000 said, F you. I said, well, wait a second. I said, I wish people would stereotype that I was good at math. What you mad about? What's wrong with math? What do you have against math, man? Math is cool. That's cool, man. Don't be like that. So yeah. So these are the words, and these are words that are relevant because right now in the United States, they're kicking out a lot of people out of the country. a lot of the immigrants. They're forcing them to leave. And if you were born in America and your father was born and your grandfather and your great grandfather was born in the United States, but they were Mexican Americans, and someone comes up to you and says, "Show me your ID." You're like, "Wait a second, homie. I'm from California." They say, "But you weren't born." Bro, I was born here. My grandfather was born here. My great great grandfather was born here. In fact, Mexicans were here before you got here, homie. Yeah, California used to be Mexico. That's right. You're the immigrant. We were here before you. You see what I'm saying? So that's what we're talking about. Do you guys understand? Right? Okay. So that's what we mean. Now, do we have any questions today? Do we have any questions? Yeah, we have many Chinese Americans, and their grandfather was born in America. Their great grandfathers were born in America. We have all different types of Americans, right? So my father is from the country of Jamaica, but I was born in America. I think it was the 1860s church that was founded by my great great grandfather back in the 1860s. People still go to that church, right? And then you go next to the church, there's a graveyard. All of my ancestors, generations. So, like my mother's name, I'm not going to say her name, but if you look in the graveyard, you will see her name 3 or 4 times. So she had a great aunt with the same name. And then from another generation back in the, you know, late 1800s, early 1900s, there was someone else with the same name. So we reuse the same names. All of us are buried there, like hundreds of people. They're all relatives, right? So nobody could say, "Hey, you're not American." No, bro, we go way back, right? We were here before you. What are you talking about? So yeah. So guys, what we're going to do is I am going to bring some of you on stage. So do we have any questions? And we will bring you on the stage, okay? All right. So Fulla, Susan, you're welcome on the stage if you have a question. All right. So the first student is on the stage. Hello. Are you there? All right. Fulla, what's up?
Hi, teacher. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good today. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you.
Yes. And
The context.
okay, so there are many, to be honest, there are many replacement words for succeed. So could you
رانيا
give me a
route
sentence?
one.
Okay, but just give me a sentence like how you would use the word succeed, and then
رانيا.
I'll give you the best.
If
Mhm.
I wanna write that those three writers succeed in accomplishing these challenging objectives. If I wanna replace succeed,
Okay, so you could say, okay, so let me make sure that, so you said these three writers succeeded in what?
in achieving these challenging objectives.
Okay, so these three writers succeeded in achieving these three challenging objectives. Wow, okay, good sentence. Now, I would say they, there's so many. I would say they uh, prevailed. How about this one? We could say prevailed. Prevailed. Have you ever heard of the word prevail? So let me
No,
type it down. Okay, let me do this. Prevail, prevail or prevailed. hmm So right. So let me type it. You said let me type it up for you. Just give me a minute, guys. I'm going to type what she said. So these three writers, WRITERS, prevailed yeah. So you said
Achieving.
succeeded. So let me,
Yes, yes.
okay. So give me a second.
Okay.
All right. I would say it like this. Go ahead and read that for us.
These three writers prevailed in accomplishing their three challenging objectives.
Hmm. And yeah, so that's what I would use for instead of succeeded. So prevailed is more. Um, I would say it sounds a little bit more formal. It sounds more prevailed, more academic.
So
But
it gives the
succeeded.
same meaning.
I'm sorry.
It gives the same meaning.
Yes, it does
Yes.
give the same meaning. Yes.
Thank you.
Hmm. Now, accomplished in itself, when I'm looking at this, you could even just say these three writers accomplished their their like these three writers accomplished their objectives. So sometimes accomplished in itself can replace succeeded. They're almost synonymous.
Yes, but
So
I mean, there is nothing wrong with the sentences itself. I mean, prevailed with accomplishing or succeed with accomplishing.
right, I would say yeah, but yes, but you could say they accomplished their objectives. So if you say they succeeded in reaching their goals, okay, listen, it's grammatically correct. It's grammatically correct, but accomplished already implies success. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
So we have something that means redundant. So let me type this up for you so you'll understand. And I want you to read this and let me know if you agree or disagree with this. So let me do this. Let me just type by success. So using succeeded and accomplishing is a little bit redundant. So I want you to read this and let me know if you understand. And then I will, what I'll do is I will show you. I'll give you some examples using that sample sentence. But go ahead and read that for us. Can you see that?
yes. Accomplished already implies success. So using succeeded in accomplishing is redundant.
That's right. So just give me 1 second because you guys can't see what I'm typing. So I just bought one of these banners, not banners, what are these called? Give me a second. I just bought a bubble so that's going to be easier to see what I'm. So, for example, I want you to, so you could say it like this. You could say they accomplished their objectives, or you could say this.
They succeeded in reaching their goals.
Hmm. And then, accomplished sounds a little bit more formal. It sounds more educated. You could say it like this. It means the exact same thing. They accomplished their objectives.
They accomplished their objectives.
Hmm. So some people might say this. I want you to read this. And my goal is to make your English better so you can say the same thing with fewer words. So I'm going to put an X here. I'm not trying to criticize you, but I am trying to help you. I'm giving you a critique. Go ahead and read this.
They succeeded in accomplishing their objectives.
Right. I would say a more efficient way of saying that is this.
They accomplished their objectives. So I can say these three writers accomplished their challenging objectives.
Absolutely. And that's going to sound better.
Yes, thank you for telling me because I wrote it as they succeeded in accomplishing these challenging objectives. But I wanted, I mean, better vocabulary, let's say, for the word succeeded,
Right.
prevailed.
And what you did was correct. It was grammatically
But
correct. No one
semantically
can take it.
redundant.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be, yeah, you got it. You got it. You got it, sister. Now, watch this. Let's say that we're going to say you play tennis. Let's say that you play tennis. So I'm going to give you a sentence. And I'm going to say, Fuller, I'm going to say it like this, Fuller won the match. So this is what we would call, and I wrote this for my OGs. We're going to call this English. Go and read that.
Fuller won the match. Sorry.
Mhm. Okay, so another way of saying that, you say that, let me do this. Let me type this. Give me a second. All right. So you could say it like this. So you could say it like she she succeeded. Um, let's see. Give me a second. She won the match. She triumphed in the tennis match. So this sounds like something you would read in the newspaper. So you could say she triumphed. Okay, so let me put this. She triumphed in the tennis match. In the tennis match. Okay, I want you to read this. Okay, and I want to know, have you heard that before?
She. Can you say it first?
Yeah. So yeah, triumph. Triumph.
Triumph.
Yes. So let me do it like this. Let me give you a pronunciation guide so you can see
Yes,
this.
because I didn't know this word before. I didn't hear of
Okay.
it.
All right. So it's TRI. So okay, I'll do it like this. TRY. I'm spelling it out. Give me a second how it sounds. Try, and then it's uh um like hum. Okay. Just give me a second. I'm typing it. Um, and then here we go. So it's it's umph. This is the best I can do, okay? But
So
yeah,
it is
let's
there,
try.
not fair. It is there,
Wait,
not
wait.
fair.
Okay, can you see the triumph? Umph.
Yes,
Yes.
triumphed.
Yes, perfect. Triumph. So it sounds like umph with a T. So it's like UMF, right? Umph with a
Yes,
T. Umph. Umph.
not only me, I mean, who gets surprised, even Bara, because I mean, we learned that PH pronounces like F, fair.
F. Triumph. Yes.
Triumph.
Triumph. Yeah, it's UMFT. Umph. Yeah, it's a little tricky, but and you need to just practice, practice, practice. Okay, I mean, you might not be able to get it right here, right now, but yeah, but what I'm really focused on right now is just, what does triumph means. So basically, you win against obstacles. So you said that what happened was someone succeeded, right, despite challenges. So when you have challenges or obstacles and you win, you succeed, we would say triumph. Triumph.
Triumphed.
Mhm.
Triumph.
So the person that we think is going to lose, we have a name. We call them the underdog. Underdog. Okay, let me put it like this. Underdog. So the person that everybody thinks is going to lose. There's a movie called Slum Dog in Millionaire. The guy in the movie was an underdog. Everybody expected him to be a loser because of how he was born, right? Because of his caste, because of his class, right? So people discriminated against him. he was not the favorite. They had a bias against him. So everyone expected that he would end up the loser. Okay? So I want you to read this. This is what happened in that movie. Go ahead and read that.
The underdog team triumphed against all expectations.
Yes. So do you understand that sentence?
Yes,
All right, very good. Now imagine that you were going to give a speech in the speech contest, and let's say you had a lot of self-doubt. You were always thinking, I can't do this. This is so difficult. We're just going to give love. People are going to laugh at me. It's going to be the worst speech. And so this is what we would say about you, Philip. And I want you to read this and let me know if you understand. Okay.
your self doubt and gave a powerful speech. I hope. Thank you.
All right. Yes. So that's what we mean. So yeah, that's what we mean. So triumph. Now triumph
Triumph.
by itself means victory. So if you have the word spelled like this, it just means a victory. Okay. But when we say triumph with an ed as a verb, it means you win, even though there was a difficulty, there was a challenge. So this is going to be the OG definition. Let me do it like this. Oh, let me do it like this. Give me a second. All right. So go ahead and read the OG. This is my definition for it. Go ahead.
It triumphed. All definition to win, especially after difficulty or struggle.
That's what we mean.
By
Okay.
the way, teacher,
Mhm.
it is difficulty or difficulty.
It's difficulty. So it's
Difficult.
just the word difficulty, difficulty.
Difficulty. And
Mhm.
do you say or often?
Wow. Okay. Most Americans say often, OFEN. I say often. Now, previously in the United States, you could say both, but I think most teachers around the world, well, I wouldn't say around the world, in the United States, will teach you often, OFEN. To me, it just looks and sounds better that way. So if you say
Yes.
either way, it's no problem. But I say often.
You know why? Because we learn to say often. But I have noticed that you say often. And then I was listening to podcast on YouTube, native speaker as well, and he say often. I went to my friend and told her that what we learned is not correct because it is often, not often. But
Well, okay,
now I
yeah,
can say that both of them are correct. Thank you.
yeah, both of them are correct. Now, I'm going to be honest. When I hear someone say often, it sounds lazy. And in the back of my mind, I'm just going to be honest, brutally honest. It doesn't sound like they're that educated to me. I'm sorry. It just, that's the way. That's why no matter what they say, I'm going to say often because it just sounds better to me. It sounds better often.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. A lot of shocked Iranians instead of right.
Yeah, look at
Thank
their
you.
faces. They are mad. They said, "Shut up, George. Shut up. We don't like you. You call us stupid." No, I'm just saying it just sounds better, right?
Yes,
So
we are learning a lot. I mean, new things that we thought that they were correct, and now it is not. Thank you.
thank you. And no one has ever complained about me using the word often. No one, never, never in my country. So, sister, I want you to look at another word, overcame. So if you want to speak what I call baby English, you could say overcame, right? When you're just talking to your friends. But if you were writing an article, right, in a newspaper or a magazine, or you were somewhere a little bit more formal, you would say triumph, okay? But casually, we're going to say overcame.
So, do you say overcame with your friends?
Yes, if I'm just talking to my friends, I'm going to say overcame.
Yes, because I want to be like you. I mean, like native speakers.
Yes, yes, with my friends overcame. But if you were maybe, I don't know, maybe I don't know about the IELTS test because I'm still new to it. But if you were maybe given a speech, like a formal speech, you would say triumph. That would sound better than overcame.
Triumph.
Mm.
Triumphs.
All right. So, sister, did I answer your questions today?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Excellent. Thank you. Now I'm going to give the next student an opportunity to ask me a question, okay? All right. So the next student, who is ready with a question? Who has a question for us today? Okay. Anyone with a question for us today? Okay, let's see. Anybody else? Okay. If you have a question, put your question into the comments, and then I will bring you up on stage and I will answer your question. All right. So, Thunder, put your question in the comments first. All right. Now, guys, what I want to ask you guys to do, make sure to share the room. If you like this class, make sure to share the room, do the room task, and like the moments. So if you like this class, make sure to visit my profile. In the middle, it says moments. I have over 2,000 moments. Go ahead and like those moments. Like the moments. Now, just give me 1 second. Let me just do a little check. So this, I'm going to thank a few people for liking my moments, and I always do that during the class. So let me unpin this because this is from yesterday. Let me pin to the top this class. Okay, so let's do this. This is this class. Okay, so I'm going to pin it to my profile. All right, so let's see who I'm going to bring up on the stage. Okay, Jessere, if you want to come up on the stage, that's cool. Nabil, Osman, Incon, Chang, Fulla, Cheryl, Daisy, Sean, Kathy, Adan, Angela, Naucha, Naucha, okay, Omochido, right, Chocolate, okay, Happiness, Anne and Lala. Thank you for supporting Zar Nigor, all right, Ehsan, Ashman, okay, Jason, Aprila, Ina, Josephina, Rania. Thank you for supporting me. Laura Salazar, okay, Nastexo, Giovanna, okay, thank you for your support. All right, so let's do this. I'm going to bring the next person up on stage. Give me 1 second. I just need to do a couple of things. Okay. All right, 471. Okay, now, Pina, are you there? Did you have a question? What is your question today? I can't hear you.
Hi, teacher. Great. Good evening. It's the evening for you. It's morning for you, I think. Well, so I don't have a actual question. I'm just kind of curious about the word headline. Like I hear all the time on the news, especially like you suggest listening NPR. That's what I listen to all the time, especially in the morning when I'm going to work. And they always use the word like headline, and I kind of get confused about it. So if you can please provide like a few examples of that, I would really
Okay.
appreciate it.
Right. So when I think of the word headline, basically it's the title of the news. So, ¿cómo se dice? Título principal en una
Uh-huh.
noticia o periódico. ¿Me entiendes?
Mm-hmm.
Titular. So,
Titular.
titular. Yes, that's what we mean. So, for example, uh, if you were in the United States, let's say today there was a hurricane warning, and there's a big article on the newspaper, and you might see this titulo, this headline. So go ahead and read that for us.
Storm warning for the East Coast.
hmm Now, there are different types of headlines, right? So, like in Espanol, se dice titular de última hora. So, we would call this one the breaking headline.
Perfect. I got it. Breaking headline.
That's right. And then there's one called, you can guess if you want, Noticias Principales. ¿Cómo se dice en inglés?
Breaking news.
You could say breaking news. That's right. Headline news, breaking news, perfect. Now, we also have the chismosas, right? You know, the chismosas, there are special newspapers and magazines for chismosas. Even here on the internet, they'll have things designed specifically for chismosas. And we would say titular, what is it? Sensacionalista.
Sensacionalista.
Yes. And we call that clickbait headlines. So anything that's dealing with rumors, uwasa, any kind of rumors, we would say it's clickbait, like Gossip Girl, or rumors about people where people are spilling the tea about other people's personal business. We call that clickbait. Clickbait. Okay, so do you understand the word clickbait? Hello? Okay, you're not there. Okay, Penna going once. Penna going twice. Okay, Penna going 3 times. All right, so Penna, I don't know what happened. You're welcome to join the stage again. Yeah, I hope I answered your question, okay? All right, so guys, are you guys learning a lot today? Let me do this. I don't have clickbait in my ¿cómo se dice? Cebo de clics, right? Cebo, sí se puede hablar español. ¿Cómo se dice? Clickbait. Cebo de clics, ¿sí? ¿Cómo se dice? All right, thank you. Clickbait is like this. This is from the internet. This is not from my notes, okay? So yeah, I copied this from the internet because I don't have it in my notes. Okay, so en español se dice cebo de clics. Okay, cebo de CLICKS. Maybe I misspelled this, but that's what we mean by clickbait. Now, what is bait? BAIT. Does anybody know what does the word bait mean? So if you go fishing, right, you have a hook, and on the hook you put a little worm or a little bitty miniature fish, right? Well, that's what we call bait. Bait. It's what you use to hook people. When you go fishing, that little worm on the end of the hook is bait. Okay? So that's what we mean by bait. Or listen, you know, when you have a mouse trap, you want to catch a mouse and you put cheese. Well, the cheese would be the bait on a mouse trap in a mouse trap. So you see the cheese here? So let me do this. Give me a second. I'm going to make it funny. Give me 1 second. It's going to take me a minute. All right. So the cheese, yeah, to get a mouse. Here we go. Okay. I think you guys can see this, right? I think this is very clear. That is what we mean by bait, BAIT. You want to attract somebody. You want to attract somebody or trick somebody. We call it bait. So if you want to catch an animal, especially fish, you're going to use bait, BAIT. Now in Spanish, they say, what is that? Carnada. Carnada, thank you. All right. All right. So again, clickbait is on the internet. And what it's going to do, it's something you look at it, you're going to click. Click, like when you're clicking. Okay. That's right. So guys, are you learning a lot today? Am I keeping my promise? I say you're going to learn more in the next 30 minutes than you can learn anywhere else in 3 hours. Okay. Now I have a different philosophy for learning English because I'm a Japanese language teacher. I teach Japanese. That's the language. I'm not an English teacher. I'm a Japanese language teacher. That's number one. Number two, how did I learn Japanese? This is the method that I use to learn Spanish and to learn Japanese. So 日本語だったら日常会話ぐらいだったらできると思います。Okay? 謙譲語、尊敬語、丁寧語、how to say, てめ言葉, right? Now, I want to say temego, but I know it's teme kotoba, right? So you guys understand, okay? So the techniques that I use to learn another language are the techniques that I use to teach you English. So I'm not like other teachers. I'm not saying that I'm better. Some people are going to lie and they're going to say, George thinks he's the best. George says that he's a native. No, I'm going to be very specific. I'm different. And I'm teaching you based on the way that I learned Spanish, that I learned Japanese, and I am using to learn Chinese. That's it. That's my secret. So, based on my several languages, I'm using those techniques to teach you English. Okay? So, don't believe the lies. There are a few people that are green with envy. They spread a lot of lies about me. Maybe it's because they're not as popular, right? Maybe it's because I block them and they want to troll me because they're jealous. So, guys, again, I'm not jealous of anybody. I'm unique. I have my own method. It's called the OG method. Now, if you want to learn with someone else, I don't have a problem with that. But if you come to my room, this is what we're going to teach. Now, I'm going to bring some other people on the stage to see if you have a question. So let's do this. We're going to bring up Asanat and we're going to bring up Thunder. We're going to bring up Ibrahim and we're going to bring up Innocent and we're going to bring up Yosef. Okay. All right. So, does anyone have a question for me today? Does anyone have a question? All right. Is there anybody on stage right now with a question? All right. So, guys, we're going to go once. Okay. We've got, go ahead. Yosef, what is your question?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
When I listen to someone, I can understand everything, but I have a problem when I talking to anyone because I can understand when you talking to me, but I can't speaking fluently.
Okay. So, what is your question? That's a statement. Do you have a question? So, you're just letting me know that you're having a problem, but what is your question specifically?
How I can speak fluently?
Okay, so if you want to speak English fluently, my question is,